Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors need a big man to protect the rim and help out on the defensive end. Naz Reid is a strong and athletic player and could bring what the Warriors need. Warriors are interested in Minnesota Timberwolves big man. The Golden State Warriors could use an above-average big man in free agency to prevent them from turning to smaller lineups. If a Minnesota Timberwolves star sixth man is available in free agency, the Warriors could acquire him in a meaningful summer move. As for Naz Reid, he is a great outside shooter who can create his own shot off the dribble, Empire Sports Media's Matthew LeGros wrote Tuesday. The 25-year-old would fit perfectly in the Warriors' offense. He also projects to ascend further than the career-high 14.8 points and 6.2 rebounds he puts up on 38.9% three-point shooting this season. Reid would be able to knock down trifectas in the corners, catch the ball in the middle of the floor and find open teammates, and attack the rim at will. While not the top-shelf interior defender that Miles Turner is, he could be played next to another big man, unlike the former, while still offering quality defense. Reid has played well with the Timberwolves since joining them on a two-way deal in 2019. However, the LSU product experienced a breakout campaign with the Anthony Edwards-led franchise last season, averaging 13.5 points and 5.2 rebounds per contest, shooting 47.7% from the field and 41.4% from deep. Unsurprisingly, Reid earned the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award last April. From making plays off the dribble to catching fire from deep, Reid contributes while serving as a reliable forward/center, possibly intriguing the Dubs. Although frontcourt assets like Kevin Looney and Quinton Post are respectable big men with impactful skill sets, the Warriors should play it safe by targeting Reid this summer. Brandon Podziemski development set to be key factor in Warriors' late-season push. No huddle, mock drafts have Shedeur Sanders as number 1 pick. Is it hype or reality? First things first. The Golden State Warriors currently sit at 35-28 and the 6th seed in the Western Conference, having seen a major boost to their offense recently with multiple players stepping up to propel a recent hot streak. This is due largely to the trade deadline addition of Jimmy Butler, who has used his ability to drive to the rim and draw contact to provide spacing and flow to the Warriors' previously stagnant offense. Butler, in providing space to the Golden State offense, has allowed the rest of the team around him to thrive. Most notably, Stephen Curry has had a monster run since the league's return from the All-Star break, having scored an astonishing 239 points in his past 8 games. But while Curry's offense is always key, it's young guard Brandon Podziemski who has steadily seemed to be stepping into a major scoring role for the Warriors, signifying a development that could be vitally important to a deep playoff run. Brandon Podziemski could be the Warriors' bona fide third scoring threat. Podziemski was averaging 10.3 points, 5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists through 49 games prior to Thursday's injury against the Brooklyn Nets, having scored 19 points in each of his past 2 games that helped deliver Golden State with a major back-to-back sweep of the Charlotte Hornets and New York Knicks. For the Warriors, this means that Podziemski is stepping into the role that the organization envisioned for him at the start of the season as the starting shooting guard. After a promising rookie year, Podziemski hit a slump entering his second season. He had seemingly lost his touch with his three-point shot, and his offensive efficiency tanked, ultimately forcing the team to diminish his minutes drastically. However, since his return from an almost month-long absence due to an abdominal strain in late January, he has looked renewed. His scoring touch has returned, and in addition to his three-point shot, he has regained his finishing creativity, hitting floaters and tough layups with ease. As Butler and Curry continue to take on dominant roles in Golden State's offense, Podziemski's recent step forward as a third option, and especially a second shooting option, has helped to cement their dominance over this recent stretch. While his three-point percentage still sits at only 31.9% on the season, a recent uptick makes him a more viable option than Buddy Hield, who was utilized in the starting shooting guard position for a portion of the season. Despite Jonathan Kuminga's imminent return from injury, head coach Steve Kerr is set to continue with a small ball lineup featuring Draymond Green at center and Moses Moody at power forward. While Kuminga will hopefully provide a spark to the bench unit's offense, the starting unit will be dependent upon Podziemski to continue at this pace. Podziemski left Thursday's game against Brooklyn with back tightness less than a minute into the contest, but Kerr said post-game that it's not believed to be serious and that the 22-year-old is considered day-to-day as the Warriors prepare for the start of a 7-game homestand. Shaq explains why Jimmy Butler move to Warriors is his favorite trade of NBA season. The once dynastic Golden State Warriors have been rejuvenated with the arrival of Jimmy Butler, who has helped the team go 8-2 since his trade from the Miami Heat in early February. Warriors' Steph Curry spoke glowingly of Butler and his impact after Thursday night's 121-119 comeback win against the Brooklyn Nets, and other Golden State teammates have since had nothing but good things to say about the veteran star. Butler admittedly left quite a few of his former NBA teams on less than desirable terms, and there were some floating concerns he wouldn't fit well in the Warriors system. 10 games in, however, the Warriors are starting to look more and more like championship contenders, with inside the NBA's Shaquille O'Neal recently giving Golden State its flowers for pulling off the Butler trade. Shaq perfectly explained why the Warriors acquiring Butler was his favorite trade of the season thus far. "This is my favorite trade," Shaq said on Inside the NBA. "I know Jimmy was going to be playing with a new type of energy. He's a two-way player, he can step out, shoot the three and play on the inside." Chuck mentioned earlier he's definitely been going to the free throw line. "Listen, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. What he did in Miami. If they get the right matchup in the playoffs, I would not want to face Golden State." After a red-hot start with the Warriors, Butler has cooled off in past weeks, putting up single-digit points twice in his last 5 games. What the scoreboard doesn't show is his high IQ on-court presence that has eased the pressure on Curry to constantly create shot opportunities. Butler consistently getting to the free throw line for easy buckets, he's made 75 of 85 from the charity stripe so far, has felt like a breath of fresh air for the Warriors, too. As things stand, Golden State would currently avoid the play-in tournament and sit in 6th place in the West, 35-28, 3 games back of the Houston Rockets and Memphis Grizzlies. Underrated Golden State Warriors player changed team's trade deadline approach, Mike Dunleavy Jr. reveals. The Golden State Warriors have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA since the trade deadline, and they are looking like a championship contender once again. It was a tough start to the season for the Warriors as they were fighting for their playoff lives entering the trade deadline. They then pulled off the blockbuster trade with the Miami Heat for Jimmy Butler, which has turned their season around. With their new superstar duo of Butler and Stephen Curry, the Warriors have climbed from 10th to 6th in the Western Conference standings and have looked like a completely different team. Of course, Butler was the only player the Warriors acquired at the trade deadline, and their general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. recently revealed that Quinton Post's development made Golden State approach the trade deadline differently. "Post adds an element that we don't have," Dunleavy Jr. told NBC Sports Bay Area's Monty Poole and Bonta Hill on Dubs Talk. "And frankly, we were kind of looking for it in the trade market, and we said, hey, wait a second, maybe we have this right now, in-house. And it's been nice to see his progression this year." This is high praise for Post, who has had a great rookie season for the Warriors. With Post playing well, Golden State elected to not pursue a big man in the trade market despite being linked to many around the NBA, including Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls. Of course, the Warriors selected Post 52nd overall in the 2024 draft, and he has been a key player for Golden State this season off the bench. This season, the 24-year-old is averaging 8.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game while shooting 46.8% from the field and 42.6% from 3. He has proven to be a great three-point shooter and also gives the Warriors much-needed size. With Post having a great rookie season and receiving high praise from Dunleavy Jr., the Warriors hope that he can continue to develop into their center of the future.